Hello, I'm Alex Hare, and I welcome you to Australian Archives, a program of musical items featuring Australian artists of note and taken from the archives. And we commence this edition of our program with Robert Nicholson recording for the Vocalion label in Melbourne in April of 1930. Sam Coslow wrote the song, Anytime's the Time to Fall in Love.
What do you do in the evening when you don't know what to do? Read a book, play a game, every night it's just the same. What'd you say if I tell you how to keep from feeling blue? My advice is good to take, and it's easier to do. When you're all alone, any old night, and you're feeling out of tune, pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon. Underneath the bright, silvery light, you'll be feeling better soon. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out and get under the moon. Look at the stars above, look at those sweeties love, oh boy, give me a night in June. I mean, if All you got to do any old night when you're feeling out of tune, pick up your hat, close up your flap, get out and get under the moon. You're never alone in the moonlight, though you may be on your own. Even by yourself you can feel, here's one place where life is real. Why should you think about trouble in that dreamy atmosphere? Stroll along and hum a song and be happy that you're here. There's always someone worse off than you, no matter how hard your lot. So make the most of your time on this earth and be thankful for that you've got. When you're out in the moonlight, your troubles will fade and you'll sing a different tune. So take my advice, get a sweetie that's nice and get out and get under the moon. Any old night when you're feeling out of tune, pick up your hat, close up your flap, get out and get under the moon.
George Sawley it was, born in Liverpool in the UK in 1885. His parents originally came from Jamaica. They immigrated from England to Australia in the late 19th century and settled in Sydney. And George was one of the people who had the tent shows around Australia with all sorts of acts and movies as well. He died in 1948. There he was in 1928 with Get Out and Get Under the Moon. Pianist was Beryl Newell and the guitar player unknown. Prior to that, Robert Nicholson from a 1930 recording made in Melbourne, Any Time's the Time to Fall in Love. Now to Les Adams and his Fabulous Hawaiians for the Astor label here in Melbourne, 1976. It's a lovely one, Sand in My Shoes.
Sunshine will dry all your tears, so just dispel all your fears. For after the dawn, all your troubles just like bubbles will be gone.
After the Dawn was the song written by Jack O'Hagan from July 1926, very early recording made in Sydney for Columbia. Sidney Simpson and his Wentworth Cafe Orchestra. The vocalist was Walter Kingsley. After the Dawn. Prior to that, it was the lovely Skirt Singer lesser number Sand in My Shoes with Les Adams and his fabulous Hawaiians.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. I'm living in a kind of daydream. I'm happy as a king, and foolish though it may seem to me, you're everything. The mere idea of you, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes in skies above. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love. Idea of you, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes in skies above. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love.
camper, campachiro. A bongo, 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 shiro. He's the biggest, broadest, bravest, boldest, brightest little guy you ever saw. Salvador the Toreador. A campin, chiro. A bongo, bongo, shiro. He's the biggest, broadest, bravest, boldest, brightest little guy you ever saw. Salvador the Toreador. He sure can throw that full iron house. He's a wow, but he runs when that bull begins to drool. He's no fool. Ah, campin, chiro. Ah, bongo, 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 chiro. He's the biggest, broadest, bravest, boldest, brightest little guy you ever saw. Salvador the Toreador. Ah, campin, chiro. Bongo, chiro. Ay, 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 vole.
Lou Tupano and his samba band. The singer, the drummer of the band, Billy Hyde, and they recorded that in March 1953, El Cumbanchero. And before that, from 1950, the Parker Sisters with William Flynn's 3dB Orchestra from a 3dB transcription, and the lovely Ray Noble tune, The Very Thought of You. Your program, Australian Archives, continuing now with the last of the Hillbillies, Bob Dyer. Recorded this one in London in February 1939, The Death of Willie.
Howdy, folks, howdy. I guess you people have heard hillbilly singers and hillbilly musicians of every rank, but you've never heard one as rank as me. I've got a song I want to sing for you folks now. It's an awful sad song. It's called The Death of Willie. Oh, it's a sad song. The way I sing the darn thing, it's pitiful. Anyway, it's called The Death of Willie, and if Willie don't die, darn him, George and the boys will kill him. What do you say, boys? You all set now? Here we go. Get together and bear down. A one and a two and a tootly ensemble cantabile. Let her flicker. He's gone from us forever, our darling blue-haired boy. Our cockeyed darling we will see no more. He gently passed away on the 93rd of May. He never died so suddenly before. We know that he was a-dying by the freckles on his breath. His eyeballs was dragging in the mud. The doctor said the only way to save Willie's life was stop the circulation of the blood. Play it, boys. No more upon the mat will he tease poor pussycat. No more between his teeth will he chew her tail. Ganesh, Ganesh. No more will he press her nose up against the red-hot stove. Our little brother Willie has kicked the pail, kicked the bucket. We soaked Willie's head in the pot of boiling lead. But alas, all our efforts were in vain. The burglars came that night and they burgled without a light. They burgled the mustard plasters off his chest. We filled his mouth with glue, thinking that would fetch him too. But again, all our efforts were in vain. For after all we tried, he just heaved a sigh and died. He sneezed, blowed his nose, and died again. Here we go again.
The Last of the Hillbillies. He was billed as on that recording and made in London in February 1939. Bob Dyer it was, and The Death of Willie. And we round out this edition of Australian Archives with Lee Gallagher's trio, recording in Melbourne in the 1950s. Very popular around the clubs was Lee Gallagher and his wonderful musicians. This one, Rum and Coca-Cola.
If you ever go to Trinidad, the natives make you feel so glad. Calypso sing and make out rhyme, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down for you, mother, both mother and daughter, working for the smile. Help soldiers celebrate his leave. Make every day like New Year's Eve. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Go down for Kumala. Both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar. It is a factor, it is a factor. Down on Manzanella Beach, GI romance with native beach. All night long make tropic love. Next day sit in hot sun and cool off. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Go down for Kumala. Both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Working for the Yankee dollar.
The Lee Gallagher Trio, Lee on piano, Don Osborne on drums, Harry Meeking on bass, and they rounded out the program with Rum and Coca-Cola. Australian Archives was conceived, prepared and produced by Alex Hare for Golden Days Radio. Thanks for listening and bye for now.